Hello and welcome to what I call a new video, and today we are going to be talking about the entire lore and history of Bean. Now, what's Bean? That is a very good question, a question I didn't know the answer to until I discovered it myself. See, the way I discovered Bean was actually in a Discord call. In said call was an individual that had Bean in their name, and unsurprisingly, they were making a Bean joke. And so I turned on my think tank for the first time in my goddamn life, and I thought to myself, well, what if Bean game? And so I typed it on Google. And what I found was perhaps the greatest goddamn thing I've ever seen in my goddamn life. It was Bean, the video game. 3 on Steam. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. I played it and I played it and I even became a speedrunner in it. I showed it to my friend. Singular. It even appeared in our Bro vs. Bro. But then, in 2024, something unexpected occurred. Bean, the video game, suddenly got a remake. No, me and Prof thought we played it on that exact goddamn day. We downloaded it and we were expecting quality like Bean. But in reality, all we got was disappointment. This didn't feel like Bean at all. Where's the momentum? Where's the quality that we've come to expect from this video game? So upon completing the remake, we of course made our way to the beta branch, only to find out that Bean did not have a beta branch. We could not turn back time to the good old days, and we were stuck with the remake. This was the worst possible outcome. And so, our beloved was gone for a long time. We couldn't even fathom playing it because it was so bad. Like, genuinely, this is out of character for a moment here. The remake just fucking sucks. Like, if you play the Bean that we played when I found Bean the video game, like that, you can get into that. You can't get into this. Nevertheless, we were defeated. We were sad. We wanted to die. We wanted to kill ourselves with a bean. We already packed a bunch of beans with cyanide. We were ready to go. Then I realized that I can just download the old version of Bean, not through the Steam beta branch, because that's what fucking losers do. Actually, we are going to circumvent the beta branch and download it from Steam itself, because Steam actually keeps every single version of a game on their servers. But how are we going to get there? How are we getting the original Bean directly from Steam? Well, for that, we actually need to do a little bit of a turn left here and give about 10,000 third-party softwares way too much access to your PC. And with these third-party softwares, we can finally go ahead and establish our link directly to Steam. And from the Steam servers, we download Bean and we start it. But it doesn't work for some reason. See, if you just download the original version of Bean, it will redirect you to the other install of Bean. So if you just start the original Bean like that and have the Bean remake installed, it will just start the remake instead. This I found to be very weird. And so I did some digging, and this is the only explanation I can come up with. All versions of Bean share the same Steam ID. So if a Bean application is launched, it will then launch whatever is in the Steam library instead. So, to play Bean, you have to first remove the Bean remake from the top folder and then place the other Bean into the top folder. And if everything is done correctly, you can enjoy Bean again. And after I figured that out, I went live on Twitch. But what's that? I didn't only play Bean, no. I also played the Bean remake, and as I was playing normal Bean, I actually found something. I found the secret third Infinity Stone. Apparently, Bean Legacy is downloadable from a Google Drive. If you download the old version of Bean, you can still access said Google Drive, and if you access it, you can download Bean Legacy, which is the first ever public released version of a Bean. So I played Bean Legacy, and as I was playing through it, it seemed like I was playing the Bean remake somehow. Bean Legacy was a lot more floaty than Bean. There was also not real momentum in that game, and there's a lot less platforms in that game. The levels are the same as normal Bean, but the physics are more Bean remake than they are Bean. And so I did a little bit of head scratching, and I realized as well that the Bean remake never really specified which Bean it was remaking. This isn't a Bean remake. This is a Bean Legacy remake. So what's so different about Legacy? Well, besides the lesser graphical fidelity, we also have the gameplay is floaty, there is one missing credit from every other version of Bean, and there were items. Now, items technically still exist in Bean, however, they were discontinued. They are useless in Bean, but they work in Bean Legacy. Floaty is the same kind of floaty that the Bean remake has always been, which actually has the side effect that the levels are slightly different from this Bean. Because Bean Legacy has floatier gameplay, there's a lot less platforms for us to grapple onto and jump onto. And a missing credit. This level right here has a credit in Bean Legacy, but in the actual Bean, it does not. Technically, in that Bean, the level wasn't made by this person because there were a lot of differences. But still, the original level wasn't made by Aj Avocado, and then the credit was removed because he slightly changed the level. The more and more I look at this goddamn board, the more and more I think Aj Avocado, the creator of Bean, doesn't like Bean. I think Aj Avocado likes Bean Legacy. I think when it comes down to literally everything, Aj Avocado, you are hereby accused of the crime of stealing a credit and liking Bean Legacy more than the actual Bean and then giving me no access to the original Bean, you absolute fuck. So, I asked myself a question. What is Bean Legacy? Because right now, the only thing I know about Legacy is the fact that it was downloadable from the original Bean. And so I looked up, and Kotaku, of all places, had a listing for Bean with screenshots from Bean Legacy. It also stated that the release date of Bean was a day earlier than the Steam page said. So the only thing that makes any sort of sense to me, what I think happened is that Bean Legacy was actually a game jam project, which was then expanded into Bean, which is a Steam page thing. But it already had its own Steam page. That is why if you launch Bean Legacy, whoever is on top of the Bean folder on Steam gets played instead. So Bean Legacy was on Steam a day before Bean. I am not saying Bean was made in a day. I am saying it was uploaded a day later. And then, years later, the Bean remake comes out. It is not a remake of Bean. It is instead a remake of Bean Legacy because Bean Legacy was always Aj Avocado's favorite fucking child. And that is the law of Bean. My fit goes absolutely fucking hard. Cue the clown.